Hey, family. Welcome back to Rooted Vines. I am Mayaka Anderson, the owner of Rooted Vines, your herbal tea apothecary. Look, you guys, we are in the last day of 2024. That went by fast, didn't it? It went by fast, didn't it? Well, I thought I'd jump on really quick just to talk to you. Yesterday, I talked about we are still in the season of letting go, even though it is a new year. So, since it is the last day, I know people got things to do. You're probably having some parties, you're going to see your family, your friends, whatever it may be. But I encourage you to carve out 10, 15 minutes for yourself. Grab your favorite tea, grab a journal, and grab a pen or pencil. This is very important, pen or pencil. And I want you to just write down, number one, all of the great things that happened to you in 2024. Sometimes we have to build a resume because we forget all of the blessings that we had the year prior. So I want you to write that list down and I want you to read it out loud to yourself. Pour it back into you so that you understand that these are the things that transpired in 2024 that was wonderful, that was great, that you were able to accomplish and you were able to succeed. You need to do this because you're going to need to be able to pull those emotions into 2025 when things just don't look right, when they just don't feel right. You got to go back to that resume bank and say, hey, I've done this, this, and this. I'm able to do this. I can figure this out. This ain't going to get me down. It may be something new, but it just says that I'm able and I have the tools I need to overcome what's coming for me in 2025. Now, even though we're journaling good stuff, you have to make room for the things that you struggled with in 2024. Those things that you just couldn't get over the hurdle. You couldn't get over the pain, the anger, the grief. You're struggling to find a job. You're having issues with housing, whatever it is, the things that you are struggling with, the things that you just haven't seemed to overcome, we're going to write those things down. Because those are the things we are going to concentrate on, not because they are the bad things, but because we need to put a plan in place. Because we need to sit down and figure out, how do I get out of this? What are the steps? Taking time for yourself, meditating and praying, the answers will come. Writing it out, you can see it. It's on paper. A lot of time we keep it in our heads, and then some of the things we'll forget about. And then so we don't do what we're supposed to do. And then when the time comes, we like, ooh, what happened? And some things we just really need to sit down and recognize. It needs to hit us dead in our, third eye, that we can see it on paper. This is what I'm dealing with. And not only write down what you're dealing with, but write down how you got in the situation if you can, how the situation is making you feel, and how this situation is making you respond to others around you. Okay? So we're going to write all that down. And then we're going to concentrate on the steps to get out of that. 2025 is a season of letting go and being prepared for what is to come. Sorry, y'all, what is to come. But you can't get to your destination if you don't have a vehicle. You can't get to your destination if you're unwilling to walk out of your door. You have to be willing to do these things so that you can get to where you need to be. And understand, when you get to your destination, if you're blessed to get to your destination, you will find out really quickly that wasn't even your destination. You still got years and years to go, right? We always feel like we got to rush to get somewhere. Let me tell you, this life, this classroom, it does not end until you transition out of it. So you're always going to be learning a lesson. It's never going to be easy. I don't care how much money you got in the bank. I don't care if you have the best family in the world. I don't care what it is. You're always going to learn a lesson. You're always going to be in this classroom. Problems will always come and seek you out in different levels, right? You have easy problems, and then you got them problems that come from, I don't know. Some problems that come knocking at your door that you never would thought you would find yourself in, right? So I encourage you to take your journal, walk through memory lane, find out what is great. Make sure you put it in I would love to know what you accomplished for 2024. I would love to know all the wonderful and great things that happened to you in 24. Drop those in the comments. And remember, for those things that you struggle with, let's start making a plan. Let's start being prepared for to overcome those things in 2025. I also want to let you know that maybe we should sacrifice some things like the media, the news media. Maybe we need to sacrifice some of those people who say that you can't, or it's not going to happen, or you're crazy, right? Because those are people who are just blocking our blessings. And the media and the politics are just fueling people with fear and hatred. I create my own environment. So I don't watch any of those things. I watch what I listen to on TV, the music I listen to, because I want to feel good. I don't want to feel down. And I'm assuming you want to feel good. I'm assuming that you want joy in your life. But how can you want joy if you're always choosing violence? If you're always choosing harsh words in music, people calling you out your name, or even your fellow sister or whatever brother out of their names. How can you buy into the negativity and say you want joy and you want peace? Those two things don't go together. You can't say, I want to go to Lowe's to go grocery shopping. That doesn't work. Those two things don't go, they don't go together. So if you're choosing something, but that something can't get you to where you want to be, it's time to rethink that thing. And it's time to give up on some things, right? So I just want to say Happy New Year, family. I want you to pray for all of those that are going out tonight to celebrate New Year's Eve, because a lot of them will not come home on New Year's Day. Every year I pray for families. I pray because, we got drunk drivers. We got people out here that are just willing to risk it all because they feel like they have nothing. They feel like they have no hope. So just be careful while you're out there. Make sure you shoot up prayers for 2025. Cover those who are homeless, who are hungry, as they try to figure out their journey in their path, because we have all been given assignments. Don't allow someone to come in and tell you you're on the wrong path. Check in with the Most High. See what's going on with yourself. Check in with yourself, your mind, your soul, and your body, right? The whole. We got to check in with the whole. But that's about it, y'all. That's all I wanted to say. I hope it made sense. Sometimes I get on here and rant and rave. People be like, go on YouTube, say what you... But I want to make sure I have a message. I don't just want to come over here on here and just feed you craziness. I just don't want to do it. And as I go forth, I accomplished a lot. I finished school and finally got my associates in psychology. I got my first coaching client. That was huge for me. So I got to visit Pennsylvania. That was something I always wanted to do. I went through my first toll through the mountain. Y'all, I'm an Alaskan girl, so there's a lot of things I have not experienced in this life. That was one of them, and I thought that was really cool. There's a lot of things that I got to do this year. Met a lot of good people through networking. So there was a lot of good things, but there's a lot of things I'm struggling with. The entrepreneur side of Rooted Vines, making balanced time for my husband and work. And now I'm also, I have a job for the last 2 years. It's just been Rooted Vines, but now I started working. So trying to figure out Rooted Vines, my household, and actually working is becoming something that I have to sit down and write some steps so that I can feel like I'm being prosperous in all of these areas, right? Because I feel like I'm lacking a little bit. No, I know I'm lacking. Unless I don't feel, I know I'm lacking a little bit. So I have to figure those things out. So I'll be journaling this year. Tonight, me and my husband, we set aside time because we want to make steps for ourselves personally, in our marriage, and in our business, and then also for our family and friends. We want to put certain things in place, but we have to write those things down so that we can see them and make them plain. And earlier I told you that you make sure you take a pen and paper. I encourage you to do this. Don't email, don't text, don't write in notes. When you start to write, the energy of your body goes through that pencil, that pen, and hits that paper. There is something about that that's magical because energy transfers, right? And so we want to make sure that we're able to get that energy, whether it's good or bad. Number one, the bad out of our system. But the good, we're going to make sure that we're able to read and feed back into ourselves those good things that we wrote down. Another thing that I'm doing, I told you the book of Mayaka. So I'm writing her story, which is me. I'm writing her story in the future, the great things that are going to happen, right? I'm going to speak and write into her life, my future self. And usually I always tell people when I'm talking, like now I'm talking to you, I'm not really talking to you. I'm talking to Mayaka in the future, because I go back and I listen to these recordings, and there are things that I need to hear that I'm telling myself. And there's something different when you're looking at yourself, talking to yourself. You're receiving something different. That subconscious is like, what is this? Right? It remembers that. And so I encourage you, sometimes maybe you just want to pick up your phone, even if you don't have a YouTube channel, and just record yourself encouraging yourself, or maybe giving your future self advice, right? Sometimes we are our own worst enemy, but we need to learn to recreate the stories that we make in our head, because sometimes those stories we make are stories of horror. And those things never even come to fruition, right? 0.01% chance of coming to fruition. But we will make up these stories in our head, and we will let them live, and we will act and put our emotions accordingly to those stories. So I encourage you to create new stories. Let all that has been said about you in the past go. You are not your past, you are your future. Work in the now and work in the future, because we can only go forward, right? So do the things that are going to make you happy. Do the things that are going to make you smile, right? Because understand this, every choice, every decision you make, there is a consequence to that decision and that choice. And like I always tell my kids, walk that choice and decision out. If there are some consequences that you don't think that you can pay for, when you get there, walk that thing all the way back and let's revisit it, okay, before you go forward. And I know sometimes, you feel like you're in a crunch, you're in a bind, and you got to have an answer right now, right now. That's what the world tells you. Give me an answer now. You got to answer quick, because if you don't answer quick, you're lying. You have something to hide. The world always has something to hide. The world is continually lying, right? So it kind of puts itself on you, right? And so you feel like you have to be a certain way. You have to respond a certain way. Honey, just let it go. Let it go. Don't let the world tell you what you should do, how fast you should respond. That's the problem with the world now. We're so quick in reaction. We react to everything. And a lot of things don't require reaction. A lot of things don't even require your response. Okay? I just want to put that out there. And when you learn that, and you learn to say no, add no into the mix, honey, you're going to be a beast out here in these streets, okay? And then you're going to live the life that you have been desiring to live, and doors will open to give you new opportunities. And I just can't wait to see that for you. I just can't wait. I can't wait to see it for me, honey. I've been digging these ditches for a minute, and they are germinating, right? I've been digging the dishes, doing the work. They are germinating, but there are some areas that I still have to learn about. Because really, being truthful, Rooted Vines is struggling. We're in the struggle realm. But I see it flourishing. I know in my heart that this is going to be wonderful and great. And that's what keeps me going. That's what gets me out of bed with Rooted Vines. That's what, the people that I get to meet, the stories that I get to hear, that's what keeps me flourishing in this. And so no matter what you're going through, even if it's not looking the way you want it to look right now, keep going. I always have the picture. I know y'all might have something against Amazon, whatever, but I always have a picture of my head of Jeff Bezos sitting in that garage. I don't know if you know the picture, sitting in that garage, working on his dream. The long nights he must have spent. The time away from his wife he had to sacrifice to get to his dream. To sit in that garage and put this thing together. Write it out. Write the steps, the plans, and then you look at it now. Why can't that be you? Why can't that be me? Putting in that time. And in the future, yourself is going to be able to sit back and say, I did that thing. That thing came to fruition. It came to life. And everybody recognizes it. Right? So I just encourage you as we go into 2025, make this this year a girl, I can't talk. A momentous year. How about that? We're going to make it a momentous year, right? And we're going to feed ourselves good things, and we're going to sacrifice those things holding us back. And we're just going to move forward. We're going to just breathe and move forward. Well, family, I'm going to get out of here. This was supposed to be a short, and I just started talking and talking. I hope y'all caught my video Sunday. I try and go on Sunday. I cannot go live yet because I don't have enough subscribers. So you guys go ahead and like, subscribe, help your sister out. I would like to put my store on YouTube. I would like to, be able to go live on YouTube. And also check out my husband who has his own YouTube channel. It is CEO369 Consulting. Check him out. He is dropping some great gems. I watch the channel, and unbeknownst to me, he is dropping gems that I could use. Okay, and we talk all the time on deep levels, and I'm still like, when I get on YouTube, like, wow, okay, he's really putting it down. So make sure you check him out. And as always, family, I pray whatever you seek, whatever you are desiring in this realm, it is seeking and it is desiring you. All right, fam, have a beautiful night. Be safe and happy new year. Bye.